So I am super duper excited about our next speaker. We met a few years ago. I believe we were at the living room, though I think we're not really entirely sure, but there may have been wine involved. So, and if you know anything about our next speaker, we both love wine. So she is luxury, travel, and lifestyle adventurer, entrepreneur, expert interviewer, YouTube host, brand ambassador, producer, host, and guest of more than 300 online shows. She has interviewed more than 500 guests in the past 2 years. Please give a warm round of applause to Miss Mia Voss. And in true Mia fashion, she will be sharing with you how to not transact like an asshat in business.
I don't think it's working. Thank you.
Thanks,
Ooh,
Mia.
is it working? Oh, hi. So guess what the second biggest fear in the world is? No, it's death. This is the biggest fear in the world. But I gave fear the finger because I think this is a really important message. So Joel got you guys warmed up, but you are not just going to sit there and listen to me because there's too many smart people in this room. So it's going to be super interactive. You guys ready? And also, nothing says 9 a.m. meeting like pleather pants. So I wanted to keep you excited. So, all right, how do I work this thing again? Here. Oh. So guess why this is blank? Telltale signs of a potential asshat onslaught. So we could turn this into a drinking game, but it's very early. But, keep track of how many times we're going to say asshat. Thank you, Ellen, by the way, for that title for this, based on a true story. So I kind of crowdsourced last night, and we had a speakers gathering, and this is a really big issue for people. Nobody wants to talk about it. There's a lot of asshats in business. It's not being negative. It's just let's give it a name. So those of you out here, I ask you, give me some examples of somebody being an asshat in business. That's 3, by the way. 3 times. What? Oh, we're getting to that one. There's a whole slide on that one. Nice. See? We just cut to the chase on that one. Picking your brain. Bam. What else? What was it? Oh, hey man, I'm here in my car. Oh yeah, here I am in my garage with all my cars. Yeah, I know that guy. What else? I'm not going to say his name, but he cracks us up. Oh, I know. You're at second base already, right? I mean, come on. All right, what else? I have a couple. Oh, that's juicy. Calling yourself an influencer. Yeah, that's just an overall one. You know what I love? I love group emails that hit reply all. That's neat. That's about as good as text. Okay, come on. I want some more. There's way too many smart people. Yes? Best-selling author. Oh, Joel? Just kidding. But he actually is. In the business section on Amazon. I got a couple of them. Poaches content without acknowledgement. How neat is that? Happens a lot. Who's had that happen? I said, yeah, 2 hands. I love that, Leslie. Bargaining, also neat, right? For pricing. Come on, I got some time. I want to hear some more. Because you guys last night were way chatty about how annoying asshats can be. That's 4. Come on. Charlie, come on. Asking for, that's asking for free shit is what I say. I just pass the stuff thing right off the bat. And that's what they should get. Yeah, here's a bunch of it. I have strings you along. That's also super frustrating. You're like, okay, I need to make a decision, and you're following up, you're calling. What else? Oh, death by coffee. That's coming up too. Yeah, absolutely. I also have bargaining. This is a big one. Doesn't do what they say they're going to do. Right? Oh, that was a good one. I like that one. All right, I got my little fluffer here. Charlie. Time is money, duh, right? That's the common theme with all of this. And I think we forget it. I think we want to be altruistic, kind of Mother Teresa. I should give my time away. Guess what? You're going to be flat broke and really popular, right? Look at everybody. What? I have to be nice about that one. All right, my next one. I like the Doug goes twice. That cracked me up. The more you hone your skills, your niche, whatever you want to do, and your expertise, the more you attract those who want your time, which is awesome, right? I love that. Somebody who's in my board of influencers, which I'm going to mention here in a little bit, said this. It's a little complicated. Everyone thinks everything everyone else is doing is simple. It's only simple because they've been doing it for a long time, right? So, yeah, they're like, oh, so I get that a lot. Hey, Mia's going and traveling, driving cars, drinking wine separately. It's a brand. How do you do that? You guys get asked that. So who gets asked a lot? Like, hey, could you just tell me quickly how you do what you do? Who gets asked that? Oh, I want 2 hands up, right? And it's frustrating because you do feel like, hey, you want somebody to give you a chance. I'm in startup mode. But I will say the more that you are not paying for something, you're setting the standard, I think, in the community of like, nobody's going to pay anything. We're not living in that kind of society. We have to be for profit. Does everybody agree? I'm a for-profit girl. Just saying, Mama likes her shoes. Can you tell me what this says? I thought it was funnier to do that than just do like, and that is now who is frustrated by that? It is frustrating. And it can, if you have systems in place, it's not as frustrating because you can say, hey, yes, you can go, and we're going to talk about that because I crowdsourced this on Facebook the other day. Woo, let me tell you something, that went nuts. But the can I pick your brain, and what we're talking about with time wasters is mainly people who aren't paying you yet, right? So you're kind of in this like weird romance spot where they maybe want to take me out on another, it's like dating, seriously. Swiping, the whole thing. All right, so in the perfect world, this is your perfect client. Hi, I like you. I like what you do. Here's what I want. Very clear. This part, oh, let me see. This part right here. Here's what I want. Like they know exactly what they want. How hard is that for you guys too? They want to pay you, but they're not quite sure. And so they're changing their mind. I'm seeing some head nodding. I have a lot of money to pay you for what I want. Love your new client. How neat would that be? Yeah, see? Yeah. Just put that out in the universe, by the way. So this is kind of fun too. I like the Looky Loos. So these are the different versions that you get when it's a time waster, an Asshat time waster. Again, they may not seem like it to you, and your Asshat may not be somebody else's Asshat. Just want to let you know that. I think I'm up to 10 now. So the Looky Loos, how cool are those? I'm just looking, the sneaky console. I just need a few minutes of your time. I just have a quick question. Is anybody else frustrated by that one too? All right, social platform private messages. Again, I'm crowdsourcing. Tell me some of the dumbest, quick, I just connected with you on LinkedIn and sent you a message of messages. Go, Megan. I'm so lucky that you sent me that, right? Got an opportunity. Download my free book. Actually, you know what? This gets on my nerves. Some of my social media mavens, it may not, but the DMs on Twitter, stop it. Stop it. Anybody, now you may not agree, but some of the DMs, I'm like, you don't know, don't say, hi Mia, thank you, because it's an extra little step for me. So me personally, a little polarizing, I know that. What are some other ones, you guys? Come on. Hillary. Yes. Please spend, they want somebody to spend their last $500 on that package. And I get that. I get that a lot. There's somebody here that's in my slide that was talking about some of these teams too that just like that, it's that jab, 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 right hook, and you just got right hooked, bitch slapped, right? Who else? Yes. Right, vague AF. Really? Yeah. I breathe in and out too, right? That's awesome. Thank you. It is frustrating. Anybody else? Charlie, I know you've had some. The free affiliate program, absolutely. Now, there's a lot of money to be made out there in these different programs. It's how you approach it, and you're super busy. So how you handle those are super frustrating. Best case scenario, I want your time so I can see if we can do business together. That's awesome. Worst case, give me your free time because I'm in startup mode, or I don't have the budget, but you've learned already. Show me how. Who's gotten that one before? Right. So let me ask you that. How many experts, how many people consider themselves an expert in their field? That's their superpower. Yeah. I was like, Renee, get that hand up there, girlfriend. I'm telling you. No, it's definitely, so that's the thing, though. You have people who are wanting to pay you, but they are not paying you yet, but they want something. So how do you funnel that? What's my little, thank you, Charlie. Boundaries, get some. That's kind of it. And there's personal boundaries, obviously, but it's having boundaries. Again, You have to go through a period where maybe people don't like you because you say no. Is there anybody out here that feels uncomfortable saying no? We won't make fun of you. Ellen, thank you. Come on, seriously, I do. And it's weird. There's certain people that can get to me that, the random person I'm like, beat it. And then the other one that's a friend of a friend, that's a tough one, right? I'm going to segue off on a little bit of a rant of something to not act like an asshat. You ready? You need to ask people before you introduce them to someone. Does everybody agree? Okay. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, you come from Illinois. So-and-so's from Illinois. I'm like, that's a big friggin' state. What? Come on now. You breathing out. So does this person. They have blonde hair. So does that. But you know what I'm saying? So think about the time that is. Because if you're all experts, somebody does want something from you. And they're excited. So you get that email. And yes, it could take you, if you have a good system, 10 minutes. But you multiply that, especially for a lot of us. And we're all a big deal, by the way. I'm going to talk to you like you're a big deal. You agree? You're big. You're like, yes. But, you think about all those calls that you get. And you don't want to be a jackass or an asshat when you respond. So you have to come up with this, I can't help you because. So what I've asked, and Michelle, I think you're around, she had asked me last year, she had a presentation and said, what advice would you give to people? I'm like, ask before you introduce. Just saying. So when you think about that, I've had people that are like, I've got this guy, he wants to get in with Chevy, and can you do that? Well, I don't know him, and I value all of my contacts, so I'm not just going to refer him for no reason. It'll burn you, you guys. You guys agree? You really do. You have to vet all these people and act like these are your family and this is your money. All of this goes back to money. Be for profit. Because then you can spend your money on whatever you want. Shoes, wine, the whole thing, right? So when you don't have a system in place, it takes a lot more work to avoid asshattery. That's a good one too, right? I think that counts in the drinking game, don't you think? So see, death by coffee. There you go. That's really what it turns out to be too. I know for myself, this takes a village to get this going and in a car and go meet. I better have something going on at the end of that coffee cup or that wine glass, right? So I actually don't meet with people just, hey, can I come meet you for coffee? Nope. You can get on the phone. You can get on virtual. Do you guys agree? Yes. And who's all doing that already? I know this is old school. I'm probably, yeah. No, Vaughn, I know you are. But does that make sense? Instead of rather like, oh, I'm just going to have an exploratory conversation, get on the phone. You guys can cut out a lot. Plus, think about that. When you're on the phone, you're on the computer, and you're able to, kind of interact, and you can look up things and send each other things. You could probably, offset going to that meeting. That's just my personal rant. You can avoid death by coffee. I like this little graphic. All right, so you can't change people, but you can change how you interact with them. This is kind of my antidote to how to not transact like an asshat or how to avoid them. You can just change what your approach is. Do you know who said this? I did. Thank you. I was like, ooh, that's good. I'm going to act like it's some big famous line that I found. All right, so on Sunday, thinking about this talk, I put it out on Facebook and said, how do you handle people who try? And I was very emphatic about try because I'm not going to assume that a lot of you don't know how to handle that, but it's very interesting. There's a lot of people who come up with systems. How do you handle people who try to waste your time in business? And it went kind of ballistic. It was like almost as popular as that guy, the cat on the Roomba. Or who else knows what funny animals I like to post on my Facebook page? Courtney. My lizard, yes. Morticia, yeah. Otters, yes, thank you. Otters swimming, best thing. I went nuts because it is a pain point, you guys. It's a pain point for people. Obviously. Oh, Holly got cut off, babe. Holly's like, what does it say, babe? I can't wait to hear this one. So, she's like, you've seen that little moving gif with Michael Jackson eating popcorn? That was Holly, like, ooh, what are they going to say? So I'm going to read some of these. They're really fun. I do a free 20-minute consultation, but they have to fill out a questionnaire first that requires them to think and put in some effort. When people go through these steps, they are fairly committed to doing something. That is my V-Bay, by the way, Vicky Fitch. I have written posts that explain most of what they have questions about and send them links. Discovery sessions, they cost X amount, and would you like to book a time? If they're serious, they book, and if not, that usually helps them move along. Are you guys agreeing with this one? And this one is really true. This is my friend Jen. Feeling the situation to be sure in person isn't necessarily diverting the suggestion to a virtual meeting. Typically, the people who are resistant to this one are the ones that would have dragged out to a 5.5-hour meeting, right? And I personally don't go to coffee, and here's why. Because I am empathic. So I get like really excited about people's ideas, right? And I can't stop it. It's like a fire hose. It gets like, ooh, you know, and they look like their mouth is on a fire hose when they've been hanging out with me. So I've learned I can't do it. I have to choose that energy and those ideas for the people that I think are going to actually do something with it. Not even necessarily work with me, but they're going to do something with it, right? On your website, have a Work With Me tab. I love that, with a menu of services, one being consulting. Send that link to the brain pickers, right? You mean, this one's funny. Oh, who did this? Who did this one? Was it Amy? You mean like an IM on Sunday morning, specifically this morning at 5:30 with a direct selling pitch? I usually turn that into an opportunity to invite them to my free Facebook social media group. 90% of the time they're wanting to hear more from me, and I had their attention. Hashtag flip it. That is good, you guys. You like that one? Yeah, because you are funneling it. Do you guys watch Walking Dead? So there is a Walking Dead from like 2 seasons ago, and they're trapped on this bridge, but there's a ditch on either side, and they said, just stand there. And once the walker comes up to you, they just go like this, right? They kind of like this. Instead of like fighting with them, do you know what I mean? And like trying to fix that one guy and stab him in the head, you just kind of, you do the little, it's kind of this version of it, right? So you're not engaging with them. You get serious, you're going to come and see me. Let's see, I've heard of this one. I love this one. I've heard of consultants offering a version of the Pick Your Brain lunch for $100. Brain Picker takes expert out to lunch, pays for lunch, and at $100 to the expert, and the Brain Picker asks as many questions as they want. I've never suggested it for myself, but I find the idea ballsy awesome. I bolded ballsy awesome because I like it so much. I thought it was really funny. What do you guys think about that one? Right? I mean, it's pretty out there, and it's just like, hey, pay to play, I think, in that sense. Customers, this one too, I like this is coming from more the corporate world. Customers can be time wasters too, preventing you, well, not corporate, but preventing you from doing things that will grow your business. Ooh, I love this one. This is Stepan. Create an exit plan to wrap up your obligations and have a resource to refer them to so they don't come back. Right? Get out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. What do you guys think about that one? Pardon? Oh, yeah, don't give me sloppy seconds. Right? Anyone else have anything on this one? I do like that. This is my favorite. This is from Carol Baskin with Big Cat Rescue. If it's a vendor, I ask them, oh, no, this is different. If it's a vendor, I ask them what they're going to teach me today, which I love. And then this is Carol. I usually say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I've got a tiger to catch. And she actually really means it, which I really like too. All right, what's my next one? Okay. Bam. BK, that one was for you, Brian Kramer. The $1 billion question, what's in it for you? I realize this sounds super selfish, right? But if you are asking this question, you are on the right path. You have to ask what's in it for you, because for me, my big why of what's in it for me is what's that going to do for Charlie, for Ellen, for Renee, for Brian, Courtney. These are the people that if I want somebody that I can say, hey, this is my bevy of beauties, I call them, by the way, and they're my toolkit. I'm like, ooh, Ellen knows a lot about branding. Charlie's going to tell us about pot. He's the pot guy. Investing in pot. I just outed you. But you do have to ask that. Does that make sense? It really is. You have to say what's in it for me. And I think a lot of people aren't saying that because they think it's jealous. This is the new version of the put your oxygen mask on, I think. Because you can't do anything for somebody if you are just giving it all away. Again, super popular, flat ass broke. Go on with that one. Like that? Somebody liked that one. I hope that was for me. So here's what I do. Use your spidey sense. Do you guys have your spidey sense? Your gut, your inner voice? And it's really, really important. And trust your judgment. Here's the interesting thing about it. I feel like I'm in a nightclub when the light keeps changing. My judgment and my spidey sense is going to be different than yours. So somebody that I may want to work with, you're like, you go ahead. And listen, some of you could just say, I'm going to go to coffee, and I'm going to sit at a coffee shop all day, and I'm just going to take people and talk to them. right? And that's cool, because guess what? I bet you've got some funnel at home that you did a webinar, and you're making a crap ton of money. That's fine. Make your money over here. This is what you choose to do with your time. So I'm just saying, let everybody decide what that is, but find out what yours is. And that's your spidey sense, and trust your judgment. So when I ask what's in it for me, I think, can I truly help them? For one, it could be somebody that I could take money from them, but I don't like what they're about. So I don't think I'm going to be able to help them. Right? And I also couldn't refer them to any of my board of advisors or my board of influencers because I don't really like them. I gotta like you, sorry. Does it make me money, directly or indirectly? Yes, you gotta figure that out. For me, like I work with car companies, some of them pay me and some of them I'm like, we're driving a $85,000 car for the week. It's not making me money, but I'm not paying for that car, right? So think a little bit outside the box on how you're making money. Is the ask sincere? You know, are they just looking to pick your brain? Are they just wanting to take or make it a high cost transaction? That's another Ellenism. Some of these people, it is a high cost transaction and it costs you a lot of time and effort. Are they fit for my brand and my values? Also really huge. You guys agree? Yeah, I mean, it really is, because I've had to fire a couple clients because I'm like, yes, I could get that paycheck, but I'll tell the story. I had a brand that wanted to work with me, and they wanted me to put me in a hotel that had a certain name on it. Do you know what that was? You know what it was. Starts with T. And I had to say no, and they were going to give me a ton of stuff, but it wasn't only because that's not how I vote, and that's okay, I'll put it out there, but because my brand is not political, okay? And they were pissed. They were like, and I said, I told you already, I just didn't tell you emphatically enough. And now I'm telling you emphatically, N-O to the T word. It didn't fit my brand and my values. There's no way I could have done a hashtag on that, right? Like, what happened to you, right? How can this person or situation benefit my tribe and my board of influencers back on that? So I do think in terms of, if I help you, how am I going to help you to grow? So you've got some cool stuff that I can say, hey, Charlie knows a lot about investing. Michelle knows a lot about reputation management. Yes, girlfriend, right back there. So does that make sense, you guys? Come up with this list. Have that list. That's going to make it a lot quicker for you to do your little zombie thing. Here's my kumbaya moment. I thought that was really fun. And even give and take fosters the best ecosystem for a stronger community. Love that. When you teach people how to treat you, you are setting an example and elevating those around you. When you ask what's in it for, right? Like that one. When you ask what's in it for me, you are honoring your business, your family, your time, and your community. Kumbaya. Right? There you go. There's my next one. Thank you. And being strategic with your time will give you more time. Right? And that's it. Thanks, babe.
Thank you, Mia.